Welcome to the Mill Brook Railroad, and today I want to talk a little bit about the coal bin at one of the big orange box stores. It's a beautiful thing. $200 worth of lumber for only 60 bucks. It's defective, but that's okay, because we are going to make ties. Now the tie factory is open again, and we've made an addition to the chop saw here. I put a stop block right there, and I can adjust it by loosening a set screw back here and sliding this whole assembly, or I can loosen these 4 screws here and I can slide these wherever I need them. So right now it's all set to 12 inches and we're going to cut some ties. Now here at the Mill Brook Railroad we make our ties out of stud lumber, and here in the US that is 2 inches by 4 inches, and then either 6, 8, 10, or 12 feet long. In this case we got 6-footers, and so we're getting 12 ties per 6-foot board out of this. But it's a lot of repetition. Now the first operation is chopping it to 12 inches with a chop saw. We'll get to the second operation soon enough. But just watch that beautiful tie stock stacking up there. I gotta say, the stop block works really well.
"34 cuts. Actually, much more than 34. 34 boards into the pile in 15 minutes.
Let's take a look at what we got. Nice big pile right here. What do we start with?
34 boards total.
34 boards.
It took us about 15 minutes to make that pile.
15 minutes?
Roughly.
So that's 34 6-foot studs. And we cut those into 204 tie blanks, which makes Eric very happy. But we're not done here. We're going to rip them in half. Now the reason we rip them in half is twofold. One, it makes the 2x4s go much further. Instead of doing 51 feet of track, I can do 102 feet of track. The other thing is, it's just the right size. It just works fine, having a half of a 2x4 width for your railroad ties. And once again, this is production work, so it's the same thing over and over again. And look at all those ties pile up. What a beautiful pile. But we can't leave all those ties just sitting there on the back of the table saw. We gotta pick them all up and put them away. Now most of them will sit at the back of the engine house on this flat car until we're ready for them. And I have a small pile of them in the sugar house. We'll put those away later. Right now, let's put these away. So there we go. It's done at the tie processing plant. Oh look, it's a Mill Brook Railroad video for sure. He derailed. Clunk.
I half expected it to.
Alright, so 1 carload of lumber goes up to the tie processing plant, and 1.5 carloads of ties out of that. It says pretty good.
Now I get to do some switching.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a breakage out of that, or breakage, spoilage, something like that. Push that rod down in the middle there.
Oh.
There you go.
This tank car has its own video in the works. That's why it's kind of up here by itself.
Yep. It's been a busy day here at the Mill Brook Railroad today. got to work the bearing packing in. Where are you going with all this stuff?
I'm just switching it around here to move the car in both directions.
Okay.
I'm going to swing the two empties over here, spot the 105 on the track you're sitting on, and then I'll take all three cars up, and I'll bring the 102 back down to put away.
Okay.
Just to run this one around a bit.
The 102?
101, whichever one you're sitting on.
Ah, the 101.
The 102's right there.
The 102 is sitting behind you, or sitting right beside you there in a pile, waiting for me to replace all the wooden bits. Reminds me, I gotta go to the sawmill. Now, in case you're wondering, we were expecting visitors a little bit later in the afternoon, and so we had the 101 all set up with a passenger seat. Yeah, it's much quieter since you packed those bearings.
Yeah. Now the only thing you hear is the brakes rubbing against the wheels. Beforehand, this had enough drag to stop a train here.
And with that, the train is all lined up and ready to go. Just need 2 toots of the horn, and then we're on our way.
Hey, look, all the heavy stuff is on the front half of the train.
What about you?
I can't sit on that car. I mean, it's 2 more moves to kick that car out where it needs to be. Yeah, we'll just bring it back down.
Well, I guess this just turned into a railfan video, so let's watch the train round the horseshoe curve. No, not the famous one, the infamous one. The Mill Brook one. And we have the obligatory pacing shot as we approach Woodchuck Run siding. And a nice 3/4 shot at Woodchuck Run siding itself. We haven't quite cleaned up all the equipment from rebuilding Turkey Foot Curve, but the track is in beautiful condition as the train rounds the curve. Further up the grade at the chicken curve, the track's not in such great shape. Welcome to the Mill Brook Railroad.
Right at the yard board, too.
Gotta fix that spot.
Something about negative can't. We don't film our passenger runs, but this is after the passenger run. Switching the train to go back down to the sugar house.
You not taking that last load?
No, it's gonna stay up here.
Okay.
Now, Canton Cuba in Western 46 was built in the Mill Brook Railroad shops right around the same time as the Shady Pines 17. The 46 is back from Illinois to get a little work done to it. And no, your eyes don't deceive you, that is a Mill Brook Railroad caboose. Our train descends down the steepest part of Washburn Hill, dubbed the Hammer. Turkey Foot Curve. Woodchuck Run. And finally, rounding our infamous horseshoe curve before finally coming up to the sugar house. Finally, our train rounds the curve into the sugar house, and then we have to unload it. We'll do that off camera. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Half tie making, half rail fanning. I mean, why not combine the two? If you do enjoy these videos, join us over on Patreon and help us make more. Patreon.com/Mill Brook Railroad. And if you want to know more about the Mill Brook Railroad, you can always go over to millbrookrailroad.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
They seem to have lost the rest of the train.